On the left side here, Team Liquid.
Billy on Johanna, we see Eternal on the side lane playing Blaze here with Nurok playing Deckard Kane. We have Hazops on Jim Reyna and Arcana on Phoenix.
To the right, it's Luna MEOW. We've already seen them once. We're seeing them a second time here as Kim will be on Diablo. Baked Cheese on Toronto. By the way, I love Baked Cheese too. Virgil on Urel, Immortal on Li Ming, and Bowie to play Sergeant Hammer.
That's the name for their new Smurf account right there.
That's right. Baked cheese, warm cheese. We love cheese. Fondue. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
It was really the best question when everybody asked, okay, how did you come up with the nickname? He was like, well, I kind of
just
like
like
the
it.
food. Just started laughing and grinning a bit there. But their composition definitely has their strength. We talked a lot in the European context about the composition with Diablo and Urel. The extra armor makes Diablo just so unbelievably tanky and killable. It's already tough to take down as is, but with Urel, even after the nerfs, there's definitely a huge element to that. Oftentimes in Europe, at least in part 1 of Phase 2, played with the Deckard Kane. In this case, we have now the Tyrande composition. But that's also where we've seen a lot of disconnect in the past, where this old school combo with the slam from Diablo and then the stun from Tyrande doesn't really click, and that's something that MEOW just showed as we had this engage happen.
Yeah, they actually would have clicked if it wasn't for that Iron Skin from Johanna, so it looks like they do have the possibility. Virgil barely gets away, but Luna MEOW already showing that trademark aggression that you were talking about. We were expecting the Diablo engage into a Toronto Luna Flare. They need to make sure that it's not the Johanna, and if it is, make sure that she has used Iron Skin already, or Luna MEOW will not be finding these kills they're looking for.
I mean, every time you look at Liquid, there's this bit of a doubt that you have when it comes to the offline performance. Here, great combo against Arcana, but with a warp, already Phoenix moving out, and Liquid is able to move onto the camp and secure the healing beacon for themselves. But there is still this big question mark, this cloud of doubt over their heads whenever they attend one of these events. They come in with the confidence. Last time at the Western Clash, they admitted afterwards that their preparation wasn't good enough for the opponents, that they just felt they underestimated a lot of them. This time they wanted to change things. And it looked good against Miracle at the start, but then towards the end it all falls off.
Yeah, Team Liquid, the thing that they mentioned that really stuck with me is that they are hoping that their play speaks for themselves here at the BlizzCon finals, and it needs to start talking for itself soon. Granted, in game number 1, I feel like they had a win completely set in stone, but a big issue, Arcana getting picked off, really hurt them. Miracle with their great late game team fight was able to pull it away, but Team Liquid needs to clean that up the next couple of days because it means the world to them to have a solid tournament.
Exactly. On the first map, Judy's play to take Arcana down was definitely the linchpin there. But even on map 2, I have to admit that sometimes when they were going for that Diablo, if Liquid would have been able to just get that kill around the second protector, they would have been fully back in the game and it could have been a different story. But as it stands, not all that matters, they lost without taking a map. So now against Luna MEOW, this is where they really have to win. If they drop a map here, that will be a disaster. You can always justify losing to the 3rd seed in Korea and say, okay, more was possible, but we just couldn't pull through. But these are really now the points that you need to get if you want to make it out of the group.
Certainly a must-win, but the same can be said here for Luna MEOW. You don't want to go down day 1 with 2 major losses against your opponent. So Luna MEOW, I want to see how they handle this control point phase. This is what Team Liquid is aiming for. They want to have Johanna on the front line with that Iron Skin, making sure nobody can step up, and they want to take over the Protector. But Luna MEOW, they are here to fight.
Yeah, and they're trying to fight now for that first objective as Liquid is already taking the position and trying to push them off the control point here. Billy already at that front, and the follow-up through Nurok with the Deckard Kane immediately present. Eternal not able to get that connect and the extra stun, but at least they're forcing the Taiwanese team off the point and secure the first few percentages in their favor.
Something Luna MEOW has to be careful of. When you're playing a Sergeant Hammer composition, typically you start to group up, especially with Urel being in there, and that is a perfect prime opportunity for the scrolls to come out, and Nurok is landing these every single time. And you have to follow up with the Jet Propulsion, and that usually will net into a kill. So Luna MEOW needs to spread out a bit more, but make sure they have Deckard Kane set up with a couple of potions.
That healing beacon, of course, still giving Team Liquid that early game advantage that they want. It's always the question, which team goes for the healing beacon? Is the other team willing to contest it? Now we're going to see that big fight. We didn't have a kill in that battle, but Liquid picked up the item, and now they have a bit of a better stance when they're heading into this first objective. And Luna MEOW is currently also accepting that. Liquid already at 99%, no contestation, and an immediate protector on the side of Team Liquid.
Ooh, and they actually find a kill on Li Ming there, as you actually have Phoenix getting a kill on the top lane. Arcana finding a kill for himself, which is pretty massive, as Team Liquid's going to open up this middle of the map here with Sergeant Hammer being stationed up. Should only hit the turret and immediately make their way to the top lane, which is pretty darn textbook.
And you know, we talked earlier about how Luna MEOW also needs to really put their foot down here, and that's actually absolutely true. Big Cheese, on the other hand, goes down as the Protector moves in, and they are not stopping there. They're going straight for Kim, trying to take Diablo down, and that's a double kill. Liquid not going for the traditional rotation to the top to take the well down, but instead focusing their attention into the mid lane, securing a double kill and working on the fort itself.
Wow, great plays here by Team Liquid, and they find another kill as they pick a total of 4. Typically, when you have a Sergeant Hammer stationed up, defending against the objective, it's a huge cue for you to say, okay, let's pull back. But Team Liquid identified that Baked Cheese on Tyrande, an immobile support, a little too out of position, and they chased him behind that fort, got the pick, and from there, it was all dominoes as multiple members of Luna MEOW fell.
And now, there's of course a big question. If you're Luna MEOW, how do you survive this group? Their goal was to get out of the group. If you want to make that happen, you need to take down the Chinese teams, but you need to find wins somewhere else. And who do you find them against? Is it Tempo Storm? Is it Liquid? It doesn't look likely so far.
Oh my!
Again, a big fight, a double and a triple kill, as we are seeing Liquid going strong.
Tornado coming in!
Lornado also securing another kill as Hammer falls, and this is Liquid with a 2-level lead, 8 kills to 0, taking a massive, massive advantage in game number 1.
I'm very sad here for Luna MEOW as they continue to fall behind, the top lane being pushed in, setting up the next control point, but I'm very happy for Team Liquid. This is a statement they've been dying to make since the Western Clash. That was a failure for them. They need to find spots where they are able to run over their opponents, and right now, Team Liquid is in a commanding lead against Luna MEOW.
Especially given the performance that we saw from Tempo Storm earlier today, it was important for Liquid to also come out swinging against that same opponent. It didn't work out against Miracle, but here they need to make that statement now. And again, it would have been a disaster to lose the map here, but on game 1 at least, Liquid so far looks extremely strong, powerful, confident as well. And Luna MEOW is just struggling to get a foothold in this game. They need to wait for level 10 now, obviously. But Team Liquid is using that map control that they already secured to get more and more camps on the map and just dominate.
One thing we also need to really adjust as we move toward that level 10 is, hang on, Kim trying to sidestep this tornado that's shoving into a corner. But Baked Cheese has the heals coming in on top of Ken. Kim should be able to back up. Oof, getting down low on health. But one thing Luna MEOW needs to do is when they go in for these approaches, they need to spread out slightly. We are having many moments where Johanna steps up, drops that Hunter mark on top of Johanna, trying to burn through that Iron Skin. But the thing is Johanna turns around, drops a flashlight, hits 3 people, and they actually can't get rid of that Iron Skin.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you could already see that Liquid in that last fight at least was absolutely willing to throw down their cooldowns, their heroics, because they know, listen guys, once that we head into another team fight, these cooldowns will be up again. We have now a free opportunity to see if maybe we can create an opportunity for a kill. With using those, didn't quite work out. It pressured Luna MEOW more though. And now we have Liquid already on level 13, just before the Taiwanese team hits their own heroic ability.
Alright, so Luna MEOW going in the next fight needs to be confident. And the tech point of the battleground, a control point will be spawning, but they don't have a fort to back up to. So that means when they go for the engage, they need to make sure that they are trading efficiently against their opponents, or Team Liquid will run them down.
Let's not forget that Luna MEOW actually gave the Protector over without forcing a fight, and therefore they didn't force the items. So Liquid has now picked up additional items after they secured that Protector, they got those kills, and are looking now at the 3-level lead, a talent advantage, and a massive advantage in items as well. A double healing beacon on top of anything else. Luna MEOW just accepting that up at the top, they're not going to make a dent into the defense of Liquid. Instead, they're rotating to the bot lane, trying to pick up some extra experience by destroying the outer wall.
And Team Liquid has 2 options on this. Either A, rotate all the way down and stop this, or B, push in the top lane and trade out on the keep wall. And they do just that. Keep wall taken in the top right corner. Luna MEOW is forced to back away. They are not willing to sacrifice that keep quite yet. You don't want to lose out the next 3rd point coming in here. So they back up and defend, and Team Liquid is able to back up and grab another support camp.
I'm a little bit worried about Luna MEOW because I struggle a bit to understand the decision making here. You are apparently, it seems they're unwilling to fight against the level 13 talents here, but where do you see an opportunity for them to fight on the same talent? Because if they give up the Protector now and Liquid just moves with it, they can even go for a keep, they can snowball this towards level 16. Even though it is a bad fight, I actually question very heavily the decision of Luna MEOW to just sit back and not go for the Protector at the top, because I don't see Liquid giving up any of the control that they established in this game.
It's a difficult situation for them, and especially with Team Liquid pushing in this top lane with this keep, they're looking for the keep. And if they find 1-2 kills, they can maybe consider moving straight in for the 4, as this keep is going to be drowned quickly, especially with Hospital showing away on the Rainer, and he has Hyperion when he wants to fully commit.
Easy keep here for Liquid as they're moving in. That Protector hasn't even really dented, still at 90% HP, and they can look for that core. Luna MEOW scared to fight against the level 13 talent, but that might just be their demise. Liquid already on 15.5 on their way to 16. Here comes the Hyperion. They engage in the backline though as Kim moves in. Lightning Breath being used, but look at Immortal. His Li Ming is nearly down.
He can't even get close. Forkbill even dropping down the Blessed Shield. It doesn't connect, but they do find a couple of shots on top of Diablo, and he'll be resetting his health. Luna MEOW now coming in, looking for a fight, but their core is dropping down to 40, down to 30, and it's going to get worse here as Team Liquid keeps up the aggression.
Liquid is going in, and they won game number 1, and there's no way for Luna MEOW to stop them anymore as Team Liquid takes the core down and secures victory number 1.
A big win here for Team Liquid, but a hard loss for Luna MEOW. Multiple levels behind, but it is one of those maps that say, okay, you know what? We fell behind on Volskaya Foundry. Typically, if you lose out on a Protector, you don't exchange against items, it happens. Maybe going into game number 2, they'll focus a little bit more on trying to stay neck and neck against Team Liquid.
I still have to say I am shocked that they didn't fight for that second Protector. I do not know what they expected to happen there, but there was no chance to fight on an even talent here. So in this case, Luna MEOW, they give up the second objective and they go down in flames. We're going to head into game number 2 pretty soon, but before that happens, we're going to give it over to the analyst desk once again to hear what they have to say, but not no more.
Thank you, guys. Liquid gets their first win on the board, coming in and looking angry, Skimmy.
Oh, extremely angry. I mean, they got the picks that they want. They got the ability to play on a map that they're very comfortable with. And I think, quite honestly, they're almost given a bit of a blessing in disguise by Luna MEOW picking some interesting, you know, it was a weird draft. You know, some of those bans were questionable, some of those picks, especially at the very end. As Sergeant Hammer into a blow-up composition, I'm not seeing it. I mean, I'm looking at Jaina still being available for them. It's another pick that they are very good at. That would have synergized so much more.
Yeah, I think that is a lot of what we saw come to light throughout that game, is just the different cadence at which they want to approach the team fight between the Sergeant Hammer versus the Diablo Tyrande, and finding ways to be able to posture up around that. Specifically, you know, the Biotic Emitter fight was by far the most detrimental to that. Sergeant Hammer, even before all the beautiful initiation for Liquid, wasn't even able to make it to the fight, and that shows exactly what we're talking about. Diablo Tyrande, battle, minute 1, as soon as you can. Sergeant Hammer's like, maybe post 7, I'll think about it. We can talk about this at like 13, 16 when we get a macro problem.
We were even talking about maybe seeing like the BFG along with it to try to add to that, because they did have Li Ming to go with it, but it did seem fairly disjointed. And that fight that Kaldor mentioned, you know, not taking the sub-13 fight, it's hard for a team like Luna MEOW who constantly just destroys their regional, destroys when you go to the Horizon Clash, to know to take those fights, to know what you're feeling like and looking that far ahead when you are behind.
And I think a little bit of that kind of pulls back to what I was talking about that realistic perspective and reflection of Arcana and why that's so impressive, showing how often within a team it is that you take that scope, looking out at all the rest of the teams, and you just go, I have the ability to realistically go, when I play versus these people, what does that look like? And you're humble enough to say, I probably lose that matchup, don't I? And that is part of the reason I feel like we get that level of progression.
Well, we're going to let the Luna MEOW reset. When we'll come back, we'll get your points and hear more about Game 2 afterward from our sponsors.
The 2018 HGC Finals are brought to you in part by Republic of Gamers, Corsair, T-Mobile, Samsung SSD, and NVIDIA.
All right, Skimmy, please. The floor is yours.
I've got so much to say. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
All right, that's fine. Moving on to game 2 then. Luna MEOW trying to get a win, trying to get a game over Team Liquid. But Team Liquid, they're on a tear versus Luna MEOW, but it's a welcome one, knowing what happened to them versus Miracle.
It's the Inferno Shrines. We thought we were going to see it. It was going to be a case of those 2 different maps, the best of 2, between the 2.
I personally would have liked to see a mix-up after that first game if I'm Luna MEOW. And I know that seems crazy to be able to go that far out of your comfort, but I feel like going with the exact, you know, sitting at the favored map pick still for Team Liquid after that first game, looking that kind of detrimental. I normally am just like, I want to see that mix-up because we're already seeing this, like, where are we going to see Luna MEOW in the future find the wins they need if they're going to climb out of this group?
You'd prefer for them to change things up and stick to their comfort because their comfort is a map that's also favored by Team Liquid?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's just taking Liquid right to their home turf as well. And when you challenge a team like that, you're saying, I'm better than you. And I just don't know if Lunar Meow is that team that can do that right now. They need that surprise factor, or at least just some kind of catching the opponent off guard.
We saw BTG do the same thing versus Gen G, taking them in Battlefield of Eternity. That's a statement to take a Korean team to Battlefield of Eternity.
I think it relates to my point from before, which is what I was going to say.
Oh, yes.
Which is, you know, I'm prepared to say it now, which was that, you know, when you are from these lesser-known regions, when you don't have as much experience against some of these greater teams that have been to multiple championships, it's very hard to improve when you are so, you know, accustomed to winning and dominating on these kind of maps. And yes, you know, there's only going to be a finite amount of maps that you can take these teams to. And we always talk about it, you know, when your back's up against the wall, what are you going to do? Are you going to play comfort? Well, it's a comfort map for them. It's a comfort pick. It's a comfort choice. So there's a big disparity between them at home and when it comes to these international events. But, you know, at the end of the day, they have to pick what they feel gives them the best chance, despite what their opponent might have in store for them.
And maybe an interesting thought process that maybe goes overlooked when it comes to that is when you are that team trying to take those risks in those moments, it comes down to after everything's said and done, you reflect on that loss and you go, was that worth the risk that we ended up taking? And more often than not, if you're the one venturing outward, you reflect and you say, no, it wasn't. You would rather take what you thought you practiced, because even though the loss may be less probable, or maybe even more so with that, you feel so much more comfortable mentally knowing you lost with what you practiced.
Well, while we are waiting for our players to be ready for this draft, let's tune into the other stream. This is Heroes Hearth Esports taking on Mind Freak. A favorite of yours, Skimmy. No bias, of course.
Oh, of course not. It's the only reason I'm here. I'm actually the, you know, the fill-in player.
The substitute.
I'm not joking.
Just cast on the side.
No, I just, you know, when John's not there, I just hop in, play some Hanzo from time to time. You know, I do his job for him. But on a serious note, you know, this is them having a bit of fun.
Is that Brightwing?
It is.
Brightwing. This is, I don't know if we want to say it. I don't think it is, though. You know what Fat94 told us?
Who's playing that Brightwing?
That is a good question.
Wait, I see.
Everybody but Fat's on the
Ryu
screen.
Playing Is this a Fat94 Brightwing?
It is.
All right, let's do it.
It's interesting here. Another thing to note, just at first glance when looking at this game, is that Heroes Hearth Esports are running with the classic solo support Abathur, something that they are very, very much known for within the North American region. And right now, with the macro advantage they have in having an Abathur and experience advantage in their favor, right now, this is a very kind of grim picture for Mind Freak, and that's ignoring the teams and the caliber you think they are. This composition snowballs really heavily for Heroes Hearth Esports.
You know, we did see a little bit of Sylvanas, but it's not the Sylvanas that was in Europe, played by Fnatic with Mind Control. This is a Wailing Arrow. Yeah,
this is a spicy ANZ flavor pick. I don't know the complete reasoning behind it. I know John plays it a lot in quick match, but that's not really anything to justify it being played on the biggest stage possible here. So potentially, if you're trying to take a bit of an idea behind why, you know, looking to try and get some early siege pressure, but it's definitely no Hanzo when it comes to that regard.
One thing to consider with the Wailing Arrow is it's still, even though Sylvanas is not really seen, one of the best counter momentums to a teamfight that exists. A ranged silence that you can reliably hit onto specific kill targets. It's a great response to things like the bunker. So if somehow they can get Heroes Hearth to stack into that, a Wailing Arrow after is silenced, not because they are literally silenced, but because they're just dead.
We'll be sure to keep you updated on how that match is going between NA's top seed, Heroes Hearth Esports, and the best and brightest from Australia, New Zealand, as we head into draft for Game 2, with Team Liquid currently leading 1-0 in this best of 2.
Right out the gates once again to go for the Garrosh ban, which is smart, which is nice, which would have made sense if they had the Garrosh with that Sergeant Hammer. And it just shows they are not too afraid when it comes to Diablo. Once again, another fantastic map for him. But Lunar Meow, I want to see them tighten up that draft, especially in the second half. It starts off so well. They have a clear idea of what they want. But then this is a trap that, you know, some of these non-league regions fall into where it comes to the end, where they start to counter-pick, they start to counter-draft. They don't really remember really what the identity or the picks were to form out these 5 heroes.
We're seeing a lot of this. Garrosh ban, Diablo let through, first pick team gets Diablo. Is it at any point when we're going to see Garrosh ban counter Diablo ban?
I do think that is likely going to be a eventual thing that we see being picked up that much more. Between these two teams, though, I do think it's a pretty big setback, and we say that, but it's not going to be the first pick Diablo.
Ayo.
It's going to be Kerrigan coming in with that threat. So if anything, maybe that might be Lunar Meow kind of calling that out, saying we don't think you're willing to first pick the Diablo. We know the Kerrigan's going to be a threat, but either way, it is a pretty big advantage for whichever team gets their hands on that Tier 1 warrior.
Lunar Meow right now, I'm thinking I want some form of mobility. I wouldn't mind the Junkrat, quite honestly. wouldn't mind the ability to try and disrupt things. They are obviously not going to be picking it right now, but they do still hang on to that Decade Cane. They get the stay a while and listen, the ability if they want to, otherwise the little NATO for that point control. We saw how well it worked for Nurok in that previous game, the ability in those choke spots, which once again is very prevalent here on Infernal Shrines. So I'm thinking they want some disengage, they want some ability to try and break up what is going to be a very dive-heavy comp. That's why Junkrat screams to me, but, you know, it might just be banned out.
I love that pickup rotation from Liquid here. I mean, there is some trade-offs to it in the fact that macro might be a little bit difficult, but I think there's enough picks post-secondary ban that they're going to be very fine and comfortable. But the biggest thing is moving into a Deckard in your 1-2 for Lunar Meow after already seeing a Kerrigan, I go, ooh, there better be a second support behind that. But then you tell me I've got a Tyrael Blaze at all forms of the teamfight and buying that pause button and things like that's dealt with by Blaze in that bunker and the sanctification, and beyond all else, it just is double in your face death ball, and Deckard despises that level of play. So right now, I mean, the world is yours if I'm Team Liquid.
Also, considering when double support was so meta, which coincidentally is last BlizzCon, one of the ways that Korean teams and eventually other teams would add another pseudo support is by Tyrael himself. He gives righteousness shields and then has sanctification too, and this may mean that whereas we saw Tempo Storm run Uther with this, that might not necessarily be as crucial for Team Liquid because they already have sanctification.
Yeah, that is a good point. And there is one pick that I think might come to light here that I'm really, really torn on right now for Lunar Meow, and it's the fall stat. Immortal has been very comfortable moving into it, but I feel like this is one of those situations where it sounds good that you can gust, but usually you're just going to kill the bird before it ever has the opportunity to be very effective. And even then, it was kind of anti-synergistic within their own regions. But we do see it's just going to be a Hanzo and an Arthas. They answer Death Ball with Death Ball. Interesting choice here from Lunar Meow.
The Arthas is a nice pickup there for the second tank rotation to slow down the aggression. Obviously, he has his own massive health bar when he pops the Army of the Dead. The Hanzo, I'm not completely sold on that one personally. I know Jaina wouldn't fit in here well. It would be a dead pick, that's for sure. The Reyna wouldn't fit well. Phoenix, yeah, potentially if you're looking to try and go for the Lightning Breath, disengage and try and hope that you can survive for it all. But the Hanzo, for me, puts a bit more of a macro pressure on their side. So Team Liquid quite happy with what they have so far.
So much cross support yet kill potential existing within the roster here of Team Liquid. Last pick though, gonna be the Thrall for Lunar Meow. I will say the Thrall I think is very, very good when it comes to that counter momentum they need in these fights. It's going to help a lot more with that Deckard problem I felt like we saw coming out from the first 3 picks on the side of Liquid. But Liquid has so many tools to deal with this that I don't even know if Sunder and Stay a While is enough to be able to stop this kind of just aggression that Liquid's going to have.
We do need to consider the fact that with things like Bunker and Sanctification, that there could be some overlap of those supporting abilities, and that is crucial that those things are communicated well for Team Liquid. But looking at the other side, there's also some possibilities for that, right? Anytime you have Sunder in the mix, there is some possibilities for anti-synergy, and that was a problem for Lunar Meow when they put in their regional. Skimmy, what do you think about these two drafts?
I think you're looking at two very definitive styles. So you got Team Liquid saying, we want to fight, we want to get in, we want these fights to be quick, sharp, and done, right? Within those big burst cooldown windows of obviously the Kerrigan, the Blaze, and the Tyrael for the Sanctification. Then the side of Lunar Meow, so you got a lot of survivability with the Thrall, the Arthas, the Diablo. It's all about trying to survive, trying to make things happen. If they can survive the onslaught, that burst at the start, and those cooldowns being used, they may have a chance.
Well, congratulations to Heroes Hearth. They win Game 1 over Mind Freak. We'll see if Lunar Meow can get their first win as we head back over to the casters for Game 2.
If there's one thing that's true, it's both these teams are going to be going at each other's necks with these compositions. The real question, though, is who wins on the Shrine control?
What I really like are just the defensive tools that we have with Blaze and Tyrael, and we've seen that actually also in tournaments in the past, where there was a combo that was oftentimes even banned out because it was so dominant at the Western Clash back at the beginning of the year. So right now, Sanctification, considering that both are running a triple melee, should get a lot of value.
The real focus here for Lunar Meow is to make sure that they hit that Sanctification and try to disrupt it. If you can put it on a 10-second cooldown, you can make it hard for Kerrigan to disengage, and that means Tyrande has got to be pumping out those heals. So we'll see if Lunar Meow can pull that off. Team Liquid bringing the aggression here, and they're on the left side.
Liquid on the left with a lead in this series already, and Billy this time playing Tyrael. We have here in game number 2 Eternal on Blaze for the offlane again. Arcana takes over the third melee, going for Kerrigan. Nurok on Tyrande, and Hazobs on Phoenix.
On the right side in the red, Lunar Meow, Baked Cheese on Deckard, Chem on Diablo, Virgil on Arthas, Immortal on Thrall, and Bowie to play Hanzo.
The first game didn't really go all that well for Lunar Meow, but now they have again a map that they feel very comfortable on, where they can now go into these big shrine fights and try through Diablo, through Arthas, with all the CC that they have, with a Thrall on top of it, and of course Deckard Cain. to get these kills and these lockdowns. And Skimmy actually put it really well. If they can stop the initial onslaught and still continue the fight, they have a lot of good tools here. They can slow everyone down, like Kane can put his roots on the ground, and we have Arthurs who can literally walk everyone down once the cooldowns are burned. But are they going to get that far?
Combo comes out from Kerrigan, connects, and Team Liquid deletes Diablo. He'll be down for about 10 more seconds, and Luna MEOW has to back away. That is something that will happen time and time again if you are not careful against this competition from Team Liquid.
And we're talking a lot about Kerrigan and how she can create kill opportunities, but then you add on top of that the Hunter's Mark of Tyrande and the follow-up stun, and all of a sudden you have an immense blow-up. Because traditionally you would look on the side of Luna MEOW and you're saying, oh my god, they have an Arthurs, they have Diablo, that's such a hit point heavy front line. It's really difficult to burst through these guys, but Thrall then on top of that too. If you have the Icebound, Fortitude on 7 makes them even harder to kill. But if you have all of these CC stacked up on Liquid side and that opportunity to just go in with a Hunter's Mark and try and burst someone down, you can basically kill anybody.
And you have level 1 mobile offense get picked up by Hostile. The plan here is to work in those auto attacks in between steps and get that extra 35% more damage against heroes. He is looking to delete that target with the rest of Team Liquid. The plan is secure and the plan is here for Team Liquid. Luna MEOW has got to do their best to stop that. Some things that can happen for them later on, Arthas, of course, becoming a little bit more tanky with that Icebound Fortitude. He can eat that cleave that comes in and try to maybe dodge on it, and then you suddenly have an engage. Also, Sundering later on can split Kerrigan and try to disrupt everything. If he could hit the Sanification too, that will be money. Absolutely.
And the thing is also for Liquid, after the first win, you want to make this a very, very clean series. Since against Miracle, talked about it before, you were a bit unlucky in game 1, but you lose with an 0-2, and that's not the start of the tournament you hoped for. They were hoping to at least get one map of the Koreans, but it's important for them to now regain that confidence by dominating in the series against Luna MEOW, especially after they've seen already Tempo Storm perform against the exact same opponent.
Kinetic getting picked up at level 4. They're looking for some extra damage as Kerrigan is able to stack up on minions, be able to set up for that combo. Arcaner has been working on his melee assassins like crazy. We've seen him on MEOW in Hero League, Kerrigan as well, even seeing him with Tracer earlier on. He is looking to be at the forefront of this team and help set up these kills. Now, Luna MEOW is actually thinking about coming in for an invade. Looking at the mini-map, they don't have everyone here, so I don't know if it's really the best choice for them. Arcaner gets engaged upon with a Shadow Charge. Here comes the Luna player, and it misses.
Yeah, once again, Billy with the body blocks, and that's the combo, and down he goes. Diablo eliminated again. 2 kills against 0. And it is also reflected in the experience gap that we see between the two teams. Team Liquid already just like sprinting ahead here towards level 6, level 7. They're looking for another kill, and they find it.
I look at Luna MEOW and I have to wonder if there's some miscommunication going on. We did have Phoenix in the middle of the map there against Thrall when that first initial invade was happening, but once he disappeared, it seemed like Thrall had no agency to move forward and attempt to clear out the lane or even follow him down. You need to be calling those out so your Diablo can decide if he wants to back away or go for the full engage. And Luna MEOW right now does not seem to be communicating.
They are in a really awkward spot. They just suffered 2 deaths at the hands of Liquid, which also allowed the blue team to move into the objective a lot earlier. Hazorbs now even with some body blocks and 3 shots against Deckard Cain, but Billy is in trouble. A good save attempt here by Eternal with a jet propulsion, but Tyrael still falls. Luna MEOW finding a very important kill as Team Liquid is 26 stacks ahead on the Shrine.
Gotta watch out for Hanzo. When he is near those walls, he will bank off those arrows. Explosive arrow coming online. Speaking of Hanzo at level 4, great on top of the Shrine. Team Liquid has a lead of 26-15, but that does give them some time to wait for Tyrael to come back. Kim trying to prevent them from winning though, goes straight in for Arcaner, who will dash back with a beautiful jump.
Arcaner with a combo immediately as well. Virgil in trouble. Kim is also getting a bit low here. Arcaner once again with the engage. We're seeing the oil on the ground to slow them down, but at least for now, Luna MEOW moving out of the fight just as Team Liquid tries to get Punisher #1.
Team Liquid doesn't get any kills, but boy, do they put some damage on top of Luna MEOW. They are forced to retreat, and that gives Team Liquid the prize, which is going to be this frozen Punisher pushing in the top lane. And this is a difficult one to deal with. One of the best things about Kerrigan on this map is she can clear out shrines, but when you clear out the shrine and you get that Punisher, you also have an amazing follow-up to the Punisher jumping in and locking down a target. Luna MEOW, fully realizing this, is giving up the support and not even attempting to fight.
Luna MEOW also has another problem. That is Blaze in the mid lane, pushing another wave into the towers, and there is no one to soak that experience. So they send Arthurs down to the bottom of the map, but they lose out on even more lane experience in the mid lane, as Liquid is now pushing through the top, eliminating the fort, already more than a level ahead in this second game, looking quite strong here and aiming for even more structures.
Finally, with the wall being up, MEOW is able to bait over this Punisher, and they'll look to clear it up, but Team Liquid has taken a fort, taken a turret, and put some damage on top of that wall. And look at the experience result. 9.25 to 7.5. Team Liquid is so far ahead right now, it's ridiculous.
And just to give you a bit of an idea of how poorly MEOW is currently performing here, it's from a dominance perspective. Thrall has not completed his Echo of the Elements. He's on 14 stacks. Normally you're trying to complete that quest talent before the first shrine spawns, but with all the pressure that Team Liquid put onto those lanes, with how heavily Thrall was pressured, even taken down then, he never had an opportunity to complete that quest. He even went into his quest talent on level 4, the Frostwolf pack, and that is far from completion too. Again, the attack, Arcana maybe falling this time as MEOW is looking for a second kill, but they themselves fall low in HP, and it's actually Arthas who dies first.
Nurok helps provide the heals, and also with the shield coming in from Kerrigan, she survives, and Team Liquid bites back on the invade from MEOW. MEOW felt like they had to make something happen or they'd be too far behind heading in the mid-game, and Arcana comes back with some help and bites down Hanzo.
Arcana, hibbity hop from the left to the right, going straight for kill after kill, locking them down here, and especially that last jump towards Arthas. Securing the kill, the level 10 in their hands, of course, allowing Liquid to go much deeper and chase everyone down on the side of MEOW here as the Taiwanese team is starting to fall apart. The top fort eliminated. We're seeing Phoenix working on the fort in the middle and the rest of the team focusing heavily on the bot lane to take another structure apart.
And now we're going back to what we saw in game number 1. MEOW being 2 to 3 levels behind. Now their main focus is to get towards level 10 and try to find a fight that can work out for them. If you can catch Phoenix maybe on an improper rotation and delete him and then deal with Kerrigan afterwards, MEOW can get back in this game. But it is looking white years for them right now as Team Liquid takes a second fort with a third fort at the middle of the map, already down to half HP.
I like that MEOW is now splitting on all 3 lanes, though. They need that lane experience to get their level 10, because as they do not have heroic abilities yet, Team Liquid is willing to pressure aggressively and trying to see if they can maybe dive in deep to get a few more kills and take down even a keep at this point in time. But they need to be careful, because Arthur is still supplying his team with experience to the top lane. He's trying to take these towers down. So Liquid is now aiming for the bot wall, but they won't be able to pressure it towards the keep itself.
And I like them putting the pressure on the full wall, knowing they had 5 there. There's no way Hans is going to kill anyone there. The best he can do is maybe clear out the minion waves. And as long as you don't get in Diablo's grasp, easy wall for them. So Team Liquid takes that and sets up that keep for later on. And with a Punisher actually being in that bottom lane, next play for Team Liquid is to take that keep.
I'm actually curious to see how exactly MEOW is going to play this, because on the last map they were very hesitant of committing to a bad fight, so to say, against a talent advantage. But now they might have to do the exact same thing, because as you said, the next Punisher spawns bot side and Liquid is about to hit their next talent. So once they're on level 13, how is MEOW going to react to this? They refused to fight the Protector at the top lane in game number 1, and it led to Liquid getting a very early victory around 10 minutes into the game. At this point, MEOW has to realize this might be a disadvantageous fight, but it's the only one we're going to get for now.
They do pick up Earthquake with Thrall here, so looking for more of a sustained team fight, trying to slow down Team Liquid and their escape. Was kind of hoping for the Sundering. Kim goes in for a full APOC. Saint comes out. Nice play there by Tyrael. Kim low on HP as the rest of Team Liquid step up and get a kill with the Salvo.
Thrall goes down. Virgil also in trouble as he gets body blocked by Sportbilly. Everybody trying to focus on Arthas, and he falls the double kill against MEOW as Liquid is looking for more, trying to chase down Baked Cheese.
Baked Cheese is going to become melted cheese as he falls to the ground. Sportbilly helping with the final blow as Hasselhoff slows him down. Now Team Liquid turns around, grabs a Punisher. They already have a lead here of 34 to 3, and they'll be looking to go for a kill push on this keep in the bottom lane. If they find a kill or two, it could be core.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's already 10 kills against 1 and 3 level lead for Team Liquid. Now with the Mortar Punisher, if they can get another CC train going against anyone in the lineup on the side of MEOW, they can definitely try and go even for core here. But they can also slow play this.
Yeah.
With such a massive advantage, it would be a mistake to try and force it, but of course, if you see the opportunity, you're going to try and take it.
They know they have a good 20 seconds at least before heroics pop up against them now, so you can go for a combo even on top of Arthas if you would like to. And they go for it as the Punisher jumps in, Eternal goes in with a Propulsion, Immortal takes some damage and kites away to the keep. But the keep on the bottom right becomes the main focus for Team Liquid, and that Punisher is still healthy. It will have one more jump soon.
Yeah, and that's definitely, I mean, this is an early keep no matter what you decide to do here, but they can still look for that Kerrigan engage and find the kill if if Tyrande is able to follow this up here. Once again, Punisher Sun, they go in and they take him down. Arthas is dead, the Apocalypse comes through, but can Luna and MEOW get a counter kill? It doesn't look like it.
No, they're fully healthy here. Neuro keeping up with the heals. Kim comes out, and he's low on health. Big Solvo connects to the back line and the front line. Diablo be taken down, and the Punisher for the third jump in a row goes in and delivers a kill. Immortal, the only one standing here on the back left. Kim will respawn, but the core, it's already being destroyed as it goes down to 80%.
Liquid is going for it. They're trying to take both of these games in quick fashion. The first one ending roughly around 10 minutes, and this one around 11 is looking like it's going to be the exact same result. Luna and MEOW losing hero after hero. The death timers are low, but every time a hero re-engages, they fall again.
20% and going down. Luna and MEOW looks like they will fall victim to Team Liquid as they go up 2-0 and get 3 points for the group stage. A much needed win for Team Liquid.
Yeah, an absolute